What is good, rookies, and welcome to Supercoach After Dark. We're just going to start you off with the antics, thanks to Brad here, who I don't even know who he's dressed as, but it seems like it's October already, and maybe he's just a little kid dressed up on Halloween. But again, I was surprised. This is Supercoach After Dark, so welcome in. Hopefully, everyone's having a better day than how I felt as soon as Brad entered the chat wearing this outfit. Brad, what do you give us an explanation, please?
There is none because it's me.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I just woke up like this, and the missus didn't like this outfit, so I didn't get to wear it as often as I was like into the bedroom. So I thought I'd bring it to After Dark.
Right, no better place for it. Oh man, you better wear that when you do your review for the week. Done. Very good. And of course, still hasn't been subbed out or dropped. Hasn't been delisted. Not named as emergency. Ghosty is back. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm on the fucking bubble this week, so ready to give
that's
you
true.
Cash.
There you go. Wait, that usually means you give us a 35. You give us 2 good 70s, and then you give us a 35. So are you going to shit the bed this week?
I'm hoping to break the trend, and based on this week and the way things have gone, I think the Primos are the ones shitting the bed. So
facts.
You might as well roll the dice on me, and let's see what I can do.
Love it. All right, let's just get straight into it because I know a few people are going to be absolutely pissing themselves seeing Brad. The Greek Raven, welcome in, mate. Hey guys, how's it going? Looking at a decent week for a change. About 2,000 at the moment with 5 players to go. All primos. Looking like a massive week, mate. That's awesome. Very, very good. Dodie, I know we usually don't talk about projections. We don't. But he's probably going to be at 1850 this week. Had a VC on Baz and then a C on Sherry. Did not go to plan. I think we have someone else here who also had a she on Sherry that did not go to plan.
Yes, we did.
How are we feeling? Have we healed from that decision yet?
Look, I have a very direct 2-word message for one Michael Voss, and that is fuck you. You are a joke. One decision to play a ruck and put one of your best ruckmen forward who kicked. How many did he kick today? Oh, 0. Yeah, beautiful stroke. And this is why you can't beat a bottom 14. So you ruined both rucks in one hit. Well done, son. Hopefully it's one of your last coaching performances for that shit because that was a joke.
Couldn't agree anymore. Yeah, it's crazy how one simple coaching decision has like ruined 2 of the top, like literally the top ruckman, and then TDK as well. I don't know if it's better or worse with or without the hat, to be honest. Oh boy. Oh man. That's my sleep paralysis demon right there, ladies and gentlemen. Also kind of reminding me of that scene from The Office with Dwight.
Oh yeah.
Very, very, very good. So Sherry definitely burnt almost all of us. If you don't own Sherry, you definitely got a kissed week, I think. Romo ended up bouncing back, which was interesting. After starting at a -1 at quarter time. Wild. Absolutely wild. Cameron had a good game. Dacos, hard tag by Windy. Didn't mean shit, apparently. 157. No worries. Thank you very much.
Bonsoft.
Legit. I mean, I'll show a lot of people who are going to, hopped on Bont this week or, hoping for a bounce back game after last week. But hey, 18-15 is not too bad, mate. We'll see how we go. Again, it's a buy round. Hopefully you've had better buy rounds up until this point so you can have your down one. Jack, another beautiful man of the community. How's your week going? It's going pretty well. Still fighting on this bloody cough, though. But, it is what it is. Currently been in bed for 3 days sick, but on the mend. Neil, for me, lately is likely owning Newcomb. Oh, is like owning Newcomb. What happened to Sinclair today? Shocking score. Yeah, Neil. Are we surprised? Like, do any of us own Neil?
Yeah, nah, fuck Neil. Nah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Marston's off. He's here. He's here. I love it.
He's a bit sweaty, struggling to breathe. Or your Braddles?
Yeah, I don't have to pay for a fucking air like rookie over here, but
There we go. Oh shit.
Yeah.
but yeah,
nah,
mate,
well,
creatine pills at the moment because I just went to the gym.
oh, he's about to munch on them. Love that for you.
That's why the sombrero was out.
Yeah.
No, I don't have Neil either, man. No, I've got the only Brisbane line I've got is Dunks.
Speaking of, nice bounce back game from last week.
Yeah, he tends to go like around the 80 mark, and then the week after is like a 120, 130. So it sort of balances out to that 100 average. So, but
Yeah.
wet weather specialist, but he did really well.
And GMHBA specialist too, just because it's a tighter ground, more tackles. Like he had 10 tackles, like just that really nice, baseline game for him as well. But yeah, Sinclair. What happened to Sinclair? He got put in that bloody pocket at half back. I don't think he took a single kick in. Oh, he took 5 apparently. Sorry, he took 5. The AFL app lied to me. I'm looking at other ones. So he did have 5, which saved him. Naz had 7. But he just looked like he was just stuck in the pocket doing absolutely nothing. Like, it was just ridiculous. Couldn't really make it up, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, hey, Naz had a really good game. I know, did both of you guys jump on Naz, or was that just you, Ghosty?
I've got Naz, and thank God. Jesus. Still not enough to make up for the crap I've had to deal with, but I had Dacos, Naz, and Butters today do all right. But yeah, still, I'm still going to have a bad week, I reckon. So who knows what tomorrow will bring. But yeah, Naz did well. Very happy to see that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably like the I mentioned it last week, I believe, that this is the season we're going to see that spike, see like that really big ceiling game from Naz. Yeah. 142, I think, ticks that box.
Yeah, I'm very happy. You pencil him in for that 100, but if you can get up that past that 120 level, which you got to, what did you get last week? 120 as well. So he's done well last 2 weeks that I've owned him. So very happy with that.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. And yeah, not locked out of a hotel room this time, mate. Well done.
Yeah, no, I'm actually finally at home this weekend. So next weekend I won't be available though because your birthday on Saturday, so I'll be pretty blind, I reckon.
That's right.
Stevie Wonder style.
That's right. No, just do a check-in call while you're out.
Traveling after dark. Let's go.
Oh my God. On the streets. The after dark.
He actually might get cancelled this time.
Yeah. Oh man, that might be. Yeah, it might be crazy. This is. I'm not even going to go to that because that's not even relevant. But Bolton being the fakest of fake primos. Makes Newcomb seem like a Supercoach god. No, not even then. You traded out Bolton, if I'm not mistaken, Brad.
No, I kind of holding.
Oh, did you keep him?
Yeah.
Oh, you held him. Ooh, and you have him too, Ghosty.
Yeah. It was really frustrating watching.
Yep, was like the most depressed man. Yep, I've ever heard.
No, it was more. Brad, I don't know if you watched the game, but he left like 6 goals on the table. He left 100+ on the table. He got ran down in the goal square like twice, trying to take everyone on, acting like he's bloody Barry Hall, and he's a stick. He missed 2 running goals, and then he dropped marks in the last quarter. It was a disgrace. He was so cocky early on, and then I think once he gets into that level, he thinks his shit doesn't stink, and might have brought back a bit of flashbacks from when he was at the Tigers for you, Braddles, I reckon.
Yeah, it did a bit. He's a bit of a selfish footballer. So when I saw that, I think the same. Probably left about a 120 on the cards if he actually didn't get chased down after kick those goals. But yeah, for me, I had to hold just because I'm bringing in 6 trades for next week instead, and just seeing what my options are next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. I don't own Bolton, but I did have a Newcomb. I don't have him anymore. So my team just looks so much better without him. Yeah, a couple of people probably going to have some nightmares after that mask there, Brad. But, it's just what we do. We went global last week. We're experiencing trauma this week, apparently. Causa having a good week so far. Only have 4 left. Anderson, Dale, Kennedy, and Witts. Nice. James projected 2276. Going to be a good score, hopefully. Top 1,000 round score and move up from an 850 rank. Very nice. Maxi also everyone's looking at big weeks this week. Where are you guys getting these numbers from?
Do you think they haven't counted that those bottom 4 or 5 scores will be subtracted from their other best scores at the end of the week?
I don't think so, because I think
Yeah.
everyone gets to do that part at the end. Like you see your 22, 23 projections, but you're not counting the 4 or 5 that will drop depending on how many primos that you have,
Yeah, that's right.
or green ticks, I should say.
Yep.
But no, we're expecting a big game from all the Western Bulldogs players: a Dale, a Richards, a Darcy, a Bont, a Kennedy. We're expecting big things. But there was some rumors that Dale was a little bit sore during the week, so especially given the break, he's probably all right to go. But I'm personally looking at a C on Richards, and I think you are too, Brad.
Yeah, I am too. I think Dale will probably get weather poisoning anyway and have 10 kickouts. But yeah, Ed Richards is my captain this week. I sort of faded the Sherry pick because of the double ruck. But a VC Brayshaw, which is really underwhelming considering Sarong wouldn't pass it to him at all.
Yeah, that is wild. That is such a wild comment.
Going skiing.
Oh, man. Yeah, standard. It's very, very standard. I was loving North this week game, loving the game. Hey, look, if this is the 1 out of 3 weeks you get to say it this season, all power to you, mate. Because it was against Blues. So, if anything, hopefully it was the game that makes Vossi lose his job. That'd be even better. Useless Supercoach. Sounds like most primos this week. A couple of underperforming primos really holding me back from a massive week. Still looking at 21-22s. Can't be too disappointed. Yeah, I think I'm just copying this week. I held on to Gorn, who didn't play. I haven't got a rank and I haven't got a track. Just copping a decent score to keep me on par and come back next week and keep swinging.
Yep.
What about you guys? How are you guys sitting so far? Do you think you're around the mark of 21? Because I'm probably sitting 21-ish, maybe just under.
I'll be lucky to get 2,000. Mine's shit, honestly. I watched about the first quarter of every game, and then I was pissed off and turning it off. So I've been watching horror movies all day.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, I haven't even looked at the projections and stuff because we don't really take that into account anyway.
That's right.
But yeah, I would doubt I'd be even close to a 2,100.
Yeah, I'm a long way off it too. I think I'm probably 2,000 if I'm being realistic. But
yeah,
again, it's the buy next week that I'll probably catch everyone on because I don't have many players on that buy that are like heavy primos anyway.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I've got 4, I think, on the buy next week. So I think a lot of people are in worse situations than that.
Yeah,
like 5, 6.
Yeah, I got 5 next week. So next week will be its own kettle of fish, but we'll see how we go. Of course, it also had the VC on Jackson. So I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to probably find a common denominator that the teams that went massive this week are ones that had a day cost, had a Jackson, had a Mills that brought him in for a nice 121. Who else went massive this week? Like that's probably, I mean, there's a few, but those were like your massive ceiling games. Even Kurt. I'm not that Kirch was a ceiling game, but this is the game that we wanted from a Kirch for anyone that jumped on him. A 96 from that role. Again, that DE can be like very much improved. Sometimes he's just a butcher with the ball, and it just happens. But that's a really solid performance for what we paid for him. And Sheasel seems to be getting a decent role as well. Boss is a 5-goal handicap every week. Oh, not wrong. Jason brought in Hewitt, and happy I did, but just take a few more kicks instead of handballs, please. We saw this. Has this been 2 weeks back to back now, where he's been a bit more of a handball merchant?
Well, I've only been watching him the last 2 weeks, so hard to know. But I thought he's always been a bit more of a handball merchant, just because where he sits, he's always ready to crumb.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, 100%. He gets himself in the right spot. So even when it's like a spoiled mark or something, he's pretty good with his positioning, and then he just quick fires the handball. So better than not being near the ball at all. Like handball's better than nothing. So and when you're getting 25 of them, at least what you score again today, a 110 or something.
Yeah, I think like a 109. Again, very consistent. What you would happily expect, for what you paid for, and what we've seen for the main season so far. So I know he's very potty, and you probably would have gone there instead of a Butters last week, and that worked out. Butters fought through again. These tags, they're so hot and cold. Like last week they worked. This week not so much. Like Jordan was meant to have Butters, and Butters pushed out a 130. Windy was meant to have Dacos, and he pushed out a 157.
I think
can I say? No, you go, Brad. Or you go.
I was going to say, I think Jordan also went to Rosie at times as well, so it wasn't a 100%.
Wasn't a full game tag.
Yeah.
That's literally what I was going to say is when I played footy, I wasn't obviously not at a great level, but I was a tagger and I enjoyed doing it. And one of the things that would annoy me most is you're tagging a bloke and then someone else is off the chain. They go, I'll go tag him. That's so annoying to have to swap up. And yeah, Rosie and Butters are both talented, but they play different roles and they're not the same. Butters is insane with how hard he goes at the ball. He's intense 100% of the time. Rosie's a bit more silky smooth, you know what I mean? Like less hard, but got the skill. And he was doing a pretty good job on Rosie Jordan. And then to chuck him on Butters in the mid, it's a different way of doing it. And yeah, I don't think that helps. I think he could have really shut down Rosie, which I didn't really want him to shut down either because I got both in Supercoach. But I really thought he could have locked down Rosie. Yeah, cool, Butters is going off the chain, but you chose Rosie for a reason at the start of the game. So then now Butters is doing it. So you're going to let the other bloke. So yeah, I just thought that was a bit silly. I think you should just stick with the one target, and it either works or it doesn't. And if it doesn't work, just release the tag and try and win.
Yeah. The coaches are just weird. They're going to do random shit every week, and you can never really, bank on it happening or changing mid-game. And it's quite interesting because, you spoke about two plays that you have in your team playing off against each other. Like me, it was Dunkley that was then going to Holmes. And I would feel mixed feelings about Holmes getting a free kick or Dunkley getting a free kick off each other. I'm like, boys, just, I don't know, get contested possessions off each other. Just do something. But stop giving points away.
I was happy with that today when on the rare occasion it was TDK versus Sherry, because I'm like, finally one of you pricks is actually going to get a hit out. So at least there's some points coming through. But when Pitnet was in, he just wanted to hug Sherry. I don't even think he was trying to win hit out. He just wanted to hug him.
You reckon they drop Pitto now that they lost that game as well anyway? Double ruck?
Well, the whole idea was to have DeConey, because they're short on forwards, was to have DeConey go forward. He did nothing. One behind, and they lost to North. If they keep that same structure in, that's probably Voss will be on his way out for sure. Yeah. You can't go with that same structure again. And like you can't even say like, oh, Sherry dominated it. It didn't do anything. Like, it
was just a neutralized setup. That's all it really was.
Exactly.
But as Studi says, like, with a few of these players, like you mentioned, Sherry, Ned Long didn't hit his BE. What did Long end up doing tonight? Like he didn't do too bad, did he? Where's this bloody game? Why is it not loading? Yeah. I mean, like 87, like that's still very good. I don't want to be too complaining about Long. Yeah, it's pretty much like what he does. Neil, you've seen this writing on the wall. Yeah. So like Sherry and Sinclair and TDK, for example, these are all just like one-off weeks. Like these are not consistent changes or permanent changes. Sinclair I'd love to actually know what happened to Sinclair, but I don't think it sticks because they still lost. Like Nads absolutely had a massive game, but where was the rest of the team? You had Sinclair, who was your main person off halfback, barely touch it. Like he had 19 disposals. Like absolutely crazy. Like that's so low for him. And TDK, you again, given the bloody mess that is Carlton, you can't imagine that they're sticking with that sort of rollout. Blue Balls loves you, mate. Loves the mask. But it's good. Are you wearing another suit jacket?
Actually, yeah. Yeah, the blue one this time.
But you wear more than one. I'm impressed.
I know. I'm man of full surprises, tell you that much.
You are. You're always full of surprises. And paralysis demons, but that's all right.
That's right.
Good question from Crazy Frogs. Who should he captain? Bont, Dale, or Darcy? Brad,
Bont.
Who do you reckon?
Bont for sure.
Yep. Ghosty, any different thoughts?
Nah, agreed. I think safest option. He's not getting tagged, and even if he did, he'll be fine.
Are they going to bring in your best tagger, Brad? Are they going to bring in McIntosh?
I think he'll be sub, actually.
Yeah. Not surprising. Yeah. He's played that role before. I get Bont's probably the most obvious one that you go for. If you don't have a Bont, though, I think a Dale or a Richards is probably your next in line. I still don't know about going Darcy. Like, just a key forward as a captain. I don't know. I don't know about it. Oh. CWT. Hey, Brad, did you know it's Dogger season?
Oh, something in my fucking eye.
Yeah. Oh, there's something in my eye too. Must be something going around. You can't see it, but Ghostie's also doing it. I'm just going to throw him under the bus with him. Jack, are you wearing a blazer? Yes, he is. We've just noticed that he's wearing a blazer. And it's not a Richmond jersey or a gym top. Look at him, stepping up. He gets some 1K subs, and look at him. He's now got blazers on. He's bought masks and some better hats. I'm surprised the yellow glasses aren't on though. That'd really complete the fit.
I'm still flipping the bird, so it can't be all classy all the time.
That's all right. Pigeons, expecting another rank drop, unfortunately. Needed to trade a mid out, chose Washcroft. Meanwhile, Neil was stinking it up in my side. 60-point loss this week. 60 points lost out of trading out either of those. Hope Neil can come back stronger. I guess that's probably a good question to kind of think about for those that are holding on Neil. If you have him, are you trading him next week? What do you boys think? Is he a worthwhile trade, or do you think he somehow turns it around for the end of the season?
You go,
I think people are going to have like less than 5 trades. So, like, if you're on a sideways, there's probably not much you can go to unless you got the cash in the bank. So, I don't know. For me, you're almost better off getting an M9, as crazy as it sounds, and trying to do something there than get rid of Neil. And like we've seen Neil's stealing. That's the issue with Neil. Whereas Merritt, the role's not there. At least Neil has the role.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, though, is like these are the questions you start asking is like, what's changed? And nothing's really changed. The role's still there. It's just has patches of just being quiet. But we've seen it again this season where he has patches have gone absolutely nuts. And he just breaks out and has a massive spike game. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, you can't predict it, where it's all speculative. Some weeks are good, some weeks are bad. And like I said, I think some people even traded out of Dacos this week, expecting Windies to do a number on him like they did last week, to Bont. Or they didn't get on Dacos after the bye because they had the Windy tag. And they just missed out on 157 points. Like, things that should happen don't always happen. And it's just how it works sometimes.
I agree as well. I don't think, as Brad said, people act like we've got like a million trades left. We've got stuff all. I think you're better off just keeping him loop. If you got McCarthy on your bench, use him as a loop and see who scores more out of that. But yeah, like I didn't trade this week actually, so I held all my trades because I know I've only got one upgrade to go. So I wanted to look at. He gave my rookies an extra week to fatten up. And now I'm glad I did that because I was looking to keep Johnson. I actually think Angus Clark has a bit more job security than him now. The way that they were using him off the wing as that extra in the back line. So it sort of helped me a bit with that. And I think now I get a choice between JHF, Darcy, and I can still go Mills, which is now a bigger option than I thought it would be now that I got to see him with Roberts in the team, what role he plays, and he had another massive score. So, yeah, I got some thinking to do. But, yeah, that's why, like you said, you got to just your team's nearly done and you pretty much just got to kick back and hope that they do the job at this stage. You can't just go, oh, this player played shit this week, let's trade him out. Yeah. You're going to have no trades.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's what most are kind of forgetting that needs to happen now is we're getting to that point of the season where now you just sit and you pray that all your players do the right job each week because you don't really have an exit strategy anymore, unless you burn for all your trades that aren't injuries. You're going to be hoping that your team survives and you get a bit lucky. And mind you, I don't care what anyone says, there is mostly luck involved in that aspect of just missing injuries. Like Holmes went off for the last quarter for a fair bit because of an ankle thing. Was a little bit scared. Just had it restrapped and came back on. And then they're on the bye, so that's like pretty good there. But again, like all these injury-prone players, like Mills, we've all brought in, in most cases, or will bring in. Darcy most jumped on this week and will be jumping on next week most likely. Like these are all players that we've missed most of the season. If you don't have trades to kind of back yourself up a little bit in case things fall, gonna be a rough end to the season. And that was me last season. This is my first year. I definitely went into the end season without any trades up my sleeve. That was a bit silly.
Oh my God! Hey,
Yes.
Before we read this, I'm not even joking, right? I'll show you this airline ticket in a second. I found an airline ticket in one of my jackets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is, I'm not going to read out the person's name, but anyway, it was from Kuala Lumpur to Melbourne, flight MH0129, July 4th, sorry, of 2013. Was that when the missing plane was?
What? Which
Hang on.
flight?
Can you
Maybe
read
you're
that?
gonna have to do some. You get. Oh, I can't fucking read that from here, mate. Just Google it later, and then make it a bloody side series on your YouTube. Discovering the.
Yeah, with it, there's 10:05, I think that's AM, of course. Anyway, I don't know what sort of witchcraft this is, but yeah, anyway, I don't know. Hopefully that's not the missing plane, but yeah, anyway, that's some weird
Dead
stuff
man's
going on.
jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got this one from the Oppo. That's why I was a little bit concerned. I'm like, hang on, something this jacket's not telling me. Is this bad luck? Am I going to go missing?
Maybe.
Interesting.
How interesting. What else can we expect to happen on After Dark? Honestly.
Yeah, literally. Oh, Apple's just
Literally.
confirmed it wasn't that one, so that's good.
Oh, there we go. Very good. Someone's onto it. Hey lads, redemption at last. 3 weeks without a good game. Captain Sherry's 70 instead of Butters. And finally have a good game. Dacos 160, Naz 140, McRae 130, Marshall 120 on Buzzed. Yeah. It's been one of those weeks. I wasn't expecting Butters to have as big of a week as he did, which is kind of why I was waiting on him. Again, it was always possible. McRae 130, again, we know the ceiling that can happen. Would love to see how consistent he can get now before potentially jumping back into it. Again, I'm pretty much done with my team. I'm going to rotate between McCarthy and Clark at D6 for now. But the rest are all primos ready. Well, primos. There's a lot of value options in there, but you take what you can get at the moment. But no, very good week. Very, very good week, mate. Good stuff. Double W looks like an international.
He is.
He's Mr.
Well,
Worldwide.
Didn't you see the plane ticket? He is international.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one here as well, MH1149. Anyway, I've got some random stuff in my pockets. You never know what I'm going to pull out.
Hopefully some things stay in your pockets. Blue ballers. Where's McCarthy when you need him? Yeah, exactly. There you go. I mean that's a good progress there, X. As I said, wait till your lower scores fall out and the calculations are done. But very nice. Who would you rather as a D6 and F6, Mills and Lou Jackson or Darcy and Whitfield? He's conflicted. I'm gonna say Darcy and Whitfield. I think they probably average more, if I'm being honest, ever so slightly, just because of the roles. Brad, what do you think?
I don't know. Probably Darcy and Whitfield, I reckon.
Yeah, Ghosty.
Overall, I'd agree, but if you were looking at this week, you'd say Mills and Luke
Well,
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. Not gonna lie. Like Jackson's not. This is going to be a fucked week in terms of ranking because so many people went the Luke Jackson route, and yeah, it paid off this week. I want people to realize he's not doing that every week. Like he's not going to play a debut ruck every week. Good pick if you went there, and he's been solid all year. But just a bit kissed to get a score like that. And yeah, I think overall you'd probably still go with Darcy and Whitfield, but it is close because Mills is, I think, starting to doing what Tommy Stewart is doing, which is putting everyone that doubted him, starting to put them to bed now. They're looking pretty solid.
Yeah, God, Stewart's look good though. He's actually back now.
Yeah,
so it was a very nice pickup. But hopefully that answers your question, mate. Luke Ryan Marriage seen a couple of 2,300 projected scores in my leagues. Will be some huge scores this round. I've seen that comment. Big scores this week. Yep. Blue Ballers stakes. Blue Ballers loves you, mate. Absolutely
I'm
loves
happy
you.
I've got at least one fan.
Matthew, hey, rookie's currently sitting in 725th. Very nice. Live score of 1921 with Ash, Whitfield, Bont, Dale, and still may bring in Darcy. About time I have a nice round. Very nice, mate. That is looking really, really solid. If you didn't have to force Darcy, would you bring him in still this week, or would you wait for his price to drop?
I'd wait for his price to drop, or he's going to kick 7 or 8 anyway, and his price might not drop by much.
Yeah. I think it's just the matchup you try to play for. But even then, we've seen that be a disaster if you play for the fixture, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yep.
Yeah,
sorry, go on, Ghost.
I was going to say I was $400 short from bringing him in this week, so I would have probably done that if I could have. But yeah, so kind of lucky I didn't, because like I said, it gives me that extra week of really nailing who I want to get now. But yeah, $400 short, so fuck, it pissed me off a bit.
Yeah, it's so funny when we see that, right? It's almost the difference of that rookie making, getting an extra 10 or 15 points in that one game, or having a little bit cleaner DE, and it just changes almost everything in 1 week. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I think Ash should have a really good game. Whitfield is probably another really solid VC option you can look at. Sorry, not VC, captain ops. Like if you had Green or Whitfield and you didn't have any of like the May Western Bulldogs boys, I think they're fine captaincy options for tomorrow. I think they'll go nuts against stuns.
I tend to agree. I think a lot of these players that are discounted prices too while we're at it get a little bit worried that they're not worth what they're at. Like if you took Cardwell's price away and you just look at him as a player, or you look at Mills as just a player without the price tag, you're going to bring him in. But people go, 357, he's injury prone the last couple of seasons, the role, this and that. But they make a lot of narrative to not pick a player instead of just getting a discounted player that's 200k less that can potentially score equal to a guy that's at 550, but they're just overthinking it a little bit. Like Stewart, I was keen on Stewart about a month ago, but I couldn't grab him anyway because what I was doing with my team. I knew he'd bounce back. Everyone was pretty skeptical that he was done, but just the role was so certain for Stewart. Then you got Mills as well. Like he just looked like a spare at times and reads the play so well. Intercepts really well. I think he's only 28 years old anyway. It's not like Stewart, who's a little bit older than him. And then Cardwell has the role, a few soft tissue injuries and whatever, but they're pushing Merritt out. So Cardwell is getting bulk CBAs. Like a lot of these guys, without being on a high horse, a little bit no-brainer. It's just the price throws people off and goes, oh my gosh, there must be something wrong with this player. He's super injury prone. But at any given week, I was saying this to Ghosty in a voice note the other day, any of the players that are fit and healthy can go down and get injured anyway. So I would rather take a 200k hit and bring in a guy at 370 than worrying about a guy at 570 who can potentially get injured next week anyway, like a Rao or something. Like you just never know. The Supercoach game's so, crazy. It doesn't really matter now. Like you're just trying to upgrade to your side as fast as you can. So if you can grab a Mills or whatever, Kircher, and you think they're going to do well in the role, sometimes you're just best not to overthink it and get too many opinions and just go with your gut.
Couldn't agree anymore. And that's literally it, though. It's just like, I think we get into that loop of just overthinking picks where, you look at the price and you're like, this doesn't scream premium. And you're like, oh, yeah, no shit. Like they played an injured game and they scored a 5, like Tom Green, and then they just go down in price. They're still the same player. Like the only questions that might have occurred for like Mills and why people may not have jumped on like Ghosty did is unsure of the role. Yeah. But for like a Green or a Cardwell, like the role was, and Stewart, the role was always there. The role hasn't necessarily changed. So again, it was a no-brainer. I think, either people overthought it, or I know people have like their own like injury clause where they don't jump on injury-prone players. And it just sometimes it just doesn't work because there's not a clean relationship between injury cloud player, poor performance. They bounce back and they pick up where they left off in most cases.
Yeah. Another thing that held me back this week just from the Mills pick was the fact that it would impact my forward line cover. I'd have a lot of defenders, and it would probably leave McCarthy stuck on the bench. And like my back line's pretty solid. Like none of them really, I know anyone can get injured, but they've all been pretty solid run players, and none I'd really loop with. Like they're all like Rosie got tagged today and got an 80, but other than that, I've got like Naz and Sinclair played like shit. But Whitfield, Jordan Clark killed it again. So my backline's actually, I'm really happy with that. They're probably 6 of the top 8 backline players. So whereas Mills, I think you're looping between Roberts and Mills, yeah, Braddles. Like that's a good D6, D7 combo to do. So that worked out a bit better for you. Whereas for me, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, I might be a bit light on my forward line, especially if like Baz gets rested 1 week. Then I'm like, oh shit, like I've got no cover. So, but yeah, Mills is looking good anyway. So I still can bring him in. It's just looking at the structure and everything. So
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how everyone's team structure looks. You know, if they went the pure value route and they grabbed the Bolton and they grabbed the Mills and McKercher and Doherty and they use those to fill up the last few slots for rookies, and you know, then they've got, because I think what we'll see is a really, because of the chaos that we've seen this season, hopefully we just see a lot of variety in teams, which we don't tend to see. Like I didn't see that in my first year. It was a lot of cookie cutter teams because it wasn't as chaotic last year. Whereas this year, I think there's been many reasons why teams are varied in midfield and defense, and maybe the forward line not so much. It's pretty clear cut outside of, you know, Jackson being the one that most kind of didn't think would be the pick that he is currently, and we just couldn't get onto the main picks. Like Bont was out for most of the season so far, Butters was out, Darcy was out. Like we just didn't have these guys to be able to choose from, so we had to kind of get creative and force us to be potty, like a George Hewitt, for example. X wants to know if you guys are trading at Bolton next week.
No, I'm doing something a bit more juicy potentially. I might get rid of TDK if he's named Rapido, get rid of Clark and Johnson, grab McCarthy and 2 450k players, such as like I know it sounds wild, but with the fixture, maybe a Ben Keys and another 450k player like Darcy. If I can afford Darcy and Horn Francis, I'll do it. But I might do something that way. I just run a spare F7, but try to open up DPP from my midfield as well, and grab McCarthy to actually weep with Roberts down back. But Roberts looked good on the wing for some reason. He looks solid. He almost become a +1 in defence at times. Went missing in different patches of the game because wing you do, but he's such a talented player that if he's my worst position player and Mills is going to give me 105 average, is what I'm guessing, and Roberts is my worst or Merritt, then I'm not really worried about those players because my flex will knock it out anyway. So, yeah, potentially 2 450k players would leave me down to 3 trades with a 24th if I do that. But again, I'll probably just reassess and see how much cash I've got because I've got 43k in the bank and just going to see how much the rookies go up on Sunday night and then sort of navigate my week then.
I like it. Man with a plan. I mean, look, the Blaze has done wonders for you, mate.
It's for Voss. I'm representing the opposition to sack him, so yeah, we can get to it.
Yeah, didn't you become like a barrister last week?
I always get confused. One makes coffees and one puts you in jail, and not very well educated.
That's all right. You can use your crayons. It's fine.
And just on Bolton, I might the only way I could potentially do it is because I told I think I said to you boys during the week, if I did go the Mills route, it'll actually save me a trade, and I'd have enough to just get him and not use 3 trades. I'd only be using 2. But so if I do decide to go that route, and I can use that extra trade, maybe just to go Bolton sideways to like a Darcy if I wanted to. But yeah, I don't know. At this stage, that it might just be hold him and see how he goes and deal with whatever he does.
Yeah,
how many trades do you guys have left?
6 at the moment, so I'll probably use 2 next week.
Yeah, that's exactly my feeling when I look at my trades, Brad. The exact same facial expression I have. I'm at 4, but I pretty much don't need to make any trades. Like unless like McCarthy turns out to be an absolute dud, I'll pretty much wait until, you know, Clark and Johnson fix their cash, and then I just burn 2 trades, roll the rest of the season on a hope and a prayer that there's no real injuries, and see how we go.
If you only got 3 or 4 left though, and you've got a full you got defense, mid, and forward cover, and the flex, like you should be okay for a little bit. Like it's only if we have one of those crazy weeks where you have Horn Francis, McRae, Callahan all go down the 1 week, which has happened once. You know, so injuries can happen. They're unpredictable. So I don't mind. There's people that plan for injuries to happen, in a mass amount. And there's people that probably go to the other extreme and don't think injuries will happen at all. They probably will, but it's probably not as bad as we think as well. So as long as if you've got cover and they're like 1 or 2 weekers, that's what cover's for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so remember that too, and the flex obviously helps. So
yeah, the flex will knock out if it's just one player that goes down. You don't necessarily have cover. You can potentially just hold to either know if it's a season-ending one or if it's just a couple of weeks. But
yeah.
We'll see how we go. Before we get into Brood's question, 80 odd people in here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Make sure you leave a like on the stream. Make sure you give us your hottest takes on Supercoach this week. As I said, it's been a bit of a blunder, bit of an up and down kind of week with Sherry's and your Neils and your Sinclairs, but also with your Dacos and your Nazes and just Mills as well. I think Mills has just been like very rare that we have like a debut in our teams in most cases. Obviously, Brad, you picked him up 1 week before his bye for a good score as well. Most would have jumped on this week, and a 121 at that price. Awesome. Doesn't match up to a McCarthy on debut with a 133, but can't really complain there. But Broods, though, can't the Roo boys? Uh-oh, another North supporter. But they're all up and about this week. Going to hear a lot of them speaking up. Pitnet, yep. Yeah, look.
Gave me AIDS.
Yeah, legit. It is a nightmare whenever we see Pitto names because, I mean, like we wanted to see TDK kick some bags, but it just didn't happen. Did not happen at all. Like
I was listening to Jared Healy commentate. TDK took 1 mark on the lead and he goes, I think this bloke's a natural forward. I think this is his best position. He kicked fucking 1 behind for the game.
I did hear that. I did hear that. He's like, I actually like him more in the forward line. I think he's got the versatility and mobility, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's done nothing in the forward line.
It's just because Pitnet literally can't do anything, but he couldn't even really wing hit outs. He just sat there, hugged, and tried to stop. And it was like a ruck tag, which is insane. That's just what it was.
He just did it, Brad. He loves a cuddle.
I'd rather one from Brad. Fuck Pitnet.
Yeah, no one likes Pitto. No one likes Pitto. Well done, other Tiger. Supercoach Brad, brilliant year. He has had a rippy year. Hopefully, he brings it home strong. 12 hoops project. What was that?
Fuck these projected. I just looked at mine. Mine's 2,000 on the dot.
Yeah, it doesn't help your mental health. Let's put it that way. This is why we don't like looking at projections. But again, 2 games to go. You've still got players' scores to drop out of your team, which is currently included in your projections. So don't get on their high horse about high projections just yet, guys. You can be excited about it, but please note they will go down quite a bit. So I warned you. Don't know if it's good or not. I think Jackson C will affect the average. Yes. If you had a VC on Jackson, your projection's looking absolutely massive. X-traded in Hewitt instead of Darcy last second. We'll get Darcy ahead of the Horny Man next week, I guess. Hugh had a decent game. Well, I mean, Hugh just had his standard game, which is a 110. Like, that's exactly what you want. I think the Darcy and Horny Man conversation, you won't know until the end of season from this point. Because I think they're both a chance. Let me actually have a look. What if you guys had to pick one to run home for the end of the season? We'll start with you, Brad. Would you take Darcy or the Horny one?
The Horny Man, for sure. Yep. He's not a key forward.
Yeah. And that's probably the main conversation there, isn't it? It's he only had 4, it was 21% for CBAs, which is an increase on the 9% from last week. So they seem like they might be warming him back into the CBA mix potentially, which is probably good.
Yep.
But I'm definitely going the Horny Man route. The DPP on him is also very valuable as well, especially if you got some 4 DPP in your mids at the moment. What about you, Ghost? Are you swinging the Horny one as well, or are you going to go Darcy to be different?
I would much prefer Horn Francis, but just I don't know how bad the shoulder actually is. I think he had to have a few jabs to get out there today, and he did pretty much play forward. And I think I didn't watch a lot of the games. Like I said, I was pretty pissed off all day. So I think he played pretty much forward for most of the game, and he had a fuck all last quarter. I think he only got 6 points, 7 points or something. So I think obviously we get an extra week of data to see what Darcy does tomorrow. But if Horn Francis was 100%, I would pick him without thinking about it. It's just I don't know how bad that shoulder actually is, and if it was by design to keep him out of the middle a bit longer, or like you just said, are they warming him back into it slowly? So that's my opinion.
Jason, I was thinking I was having a good week until I'm hearing of some of these scores. It's crazy. Yeah, well, mate, likewise. I'm sitting there going, I'll have a decent week. I think anything above 2,000 in a bar round is pretty decent. And that's pretty much what you want to try and aim to get above. I'm like literally just over 2,000 at the moment, probably just under 21. And then seeing all these 23 pluses, I'm like, well, get fucked. I'm trying to break even for the buy rounds, more importantly, and then just have a strong, little ramp up on the way home to get into the top 1%. Ain't happening with these bloke projections at the moment. Good one for us as Richards owners, Brad. Jack's brought in the Bond. Currently has this on Richards. Would you keep it on Richards or would you flick it to Bond?
I reckon it'd score the same anyway. I just think Richards will have more disposals, but Bond will have more goals. So I reckon they're paid 150 each easily.
I like it. Go, Steve. Do you have a Richards?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Look, to be quite honest with you, I'll be staying up all night practicing voodoo to fuck that game up. I want every Bulldog player to get 50. It's my only way of not dropping. I reckon I'm going to drop thousands this week in ranks by the looks of things. So, if in all seriousness, I would chuck it on Richards if I had both. But like Brad said, I don't think it'd be too much difference. But I just think Richards as a whole this year, he's been him and McCluggage are the picks of the year. If you started with them, you'd be fucking happy each week because they don't disappoint.
Yeah, they're going to be targets next season for sure. But it's interesting to see what the tags happen next year with Brisbane. You'd think after this season, McCluggage becomes like target number one with Neil on the way out with age.
Yeah, I reckon maybe Will Ashcroft as well.
Yeah, potentially. There's a lot of options for tag targets.
Yeah.
X went to the Port game, was too busy laughing at Amadi to realise we were down 8 goals. Yeah, what's been with the goal kicking this week? Like Geelong could not kick straight. Like for whatever reason, they could not find between the middle posts. They're just not glad wrapped or whatever. And then Sydney very much the same. Just could not kick it through the big sticks. Like it's not that hard to kick a footy, right, guys?
Amadi's useless though. I've watched him many games, and if he wasn't, I don't even know. If he was at a Melbourne club, he'd be delisted. He is so overrated. He is so shit.
There you go. Amadi isn't one I thought you'd actually have some hate for, but there you go.
Nah,
Get
he's
some
like
some smoke for him.
He's like a Team U Bow Wow.
There you go. That's an interesting call. It was very interesting.
I think even the North and Carlton game too started off really shit, and even I don't really like Nick D'Alessandro, especially when he's boundary commentating. He annoys the shit out of me. But he even said he's like, I think Carlton kicked like 6 behinds in the first quarter or something, and he's like, just want to reiterate that it is perfect conditions out there. And I was like, they're just 2 shit teams playing. So
yeah, you wouldn't expect anything more.
No.
I had a feeling North would win. I was actually saying that on the podcast with Damo on Supercoach Edge, and I reckon North's actually got this game, and funnily enough, they held on.
Yeah, we did notice you were wearing a bit of the merch, which you've just got all this random merch of opposite teams that you don't actually support. Like, are you just getting a little collection together?
I've been going to op shops lately, and I've been buying all your stuff and hoping you'd throw in your underwear there. No, in all seriousness, I've been going to op shops, and they had an Essendon scarf for $2. So I bought that because Ghosty knows that Essendon are worth $2. Then I bought a Hawthorn scarf that was worth $2. I got a Geelong scarf, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I want to bring it out because it might actually turn me into an absolute puss. I'm not going to do it.
I was going to say, you overpaid for that $2 scarf for Essendon, bro.
Oh, boy.
I know. It came with many tears and heartbreaks and also hit a few curbs because, I don't know. Just that's what happens with the scarf, that juju.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Brad actually paid for the scarf. I think it was like a buy one get one free. It was a little add on. They were just trying to get rid of it.
The op shop were like, just get it out of here. We don't
They
want
should
this
have
in
been
our.
paying me to grab both of those scarves.
Brad actually made money. It's crazy, taking things away from an op shop. Oh, it's like cash converters, but opposite. Luke, the rumors of Dale being laid out aren't going away. Fingers crossed he plays. Yeah, a little bit concerned, but again, it's all rumors for the moment. We haven't seen any official reports, I believe. Peter, here in Sicily now, I think I might contact the Mafia on the way if some of my players went. Neil, Sinclair, Derek. Yeah, do it. Do it. Get someone to go for Vossi, please. Just do it. Save us all the pain. Yeah. Amadi, horrible. Watching fan footy, mate, that's a problem in itself. Don't watch fan footy. Play-by-play is the horror movie you missed out, brother.
Yeah, I had to. I watch movies that I didn't want to avoid it. That's how bad today was. As soon as I saw Sherry, I went, nah, this is the day where the laptop's going out the window.
Yeah.
And
Another bad day to be drywall.
Well, the only reason I picked him when I was looking at it logically was the ceiling, because I wanted something that could at least get close to a Jackson or a Sarong or someone like that. Yeah. And like the only other option was a Bailey Dale, which he might not even fucking play now. So lucky I didn't do that. But I was like, yeah. And this was Sherry's lowest scoring game for the year. I don't think he's gone below like an 85, 90 all year. Mm-hmm. So it just, I thought he'd still do all right, but. Yeah, it's Voss. If you had to pick, like, I know he's not a great player, but a Lewis Young who's actually kicked a few bags this year of like threes and stuff would have probably affected the game a bit better than having Pitnet and then trying to turn DeConing into a forward. And surely that's going to send DeConing out the door. Like, he said he wants to be number one ruck, and you've played him forward. Like, do you want him out of your club?
If anything, I might just spell the writing on the wall of what's already been, kind of signed and set up, if anything. But Hawksy, good evening, folks. Is the stream the closest Brad's gotten to a footy field?
Oh, well, we had a kick last year, and then I had some kicks with Shorty, last year as well on that, that video. But apart from that, he's probably right. I haven't stepped on the field for a while. They mistake me for the goalpost a little bit, probably the small goalpost, but I'd love to play footy again, but my shoulder would not hold up. I've just had my right one 3 times, so if I do a fourth, I'm going for Rico.
Yeah, probably not ideal, unless you want to strap it to the absolute max. Stiff arm it the whole way.
Yeah, I've already got another stiff issue, but no, I'm joking.
You get that tape before the game, don't you, Brad? Tape to your leg?
Tape to my ankle, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Get it tucked in. Honestly. Useless super coach to bring us back. I was concerned about Darcy Abbott being subbed this week. As a Tigers fan, I can see it being very messy. I can definitely see one of them being subbed off early. Kennedy over Darcy is tempting me. I also kind of have been looking at Kennedy over Darcy just a little bit. But the issue with Kennedy is that he does a lot and he plays, like, stat-wise, does a really good job at the role and everything. But champion darters don't like him for some reason. Like, he really struggles to crack the ton with really solid games where others might get a 110, 115 with the same stat line. It's just, it doesn't make sense, but I think Darcy is probably more, again, he's that generational type player. Champion data are most likely going to make him, their love child, and I think he'll be most likely better towards season end. Do we think any of these players get subbed versus your boys, Brad?
Oh, if anyone, maybe Bonds, but I don't think so. Bond's too proud to do that, surely.
Yeah, and Darcy fought to stay on last week. Like, they were probably trying to rest him, but he was eager to get back on. Even for like the last 5 minutes, just to get games back into him.
I would actually think if they were going to sub anyone off for a bit of a rest, I'd probably think maybe Libba, just because he's been going the whole time. They had the bye, but someone like that, maybe, like you said, Darcy was like dead against fucking coming off the ground. He was like, get me back on. So I don't think they'll take, and it's his second game back, so I think they want to get him as much run in the legs as possible. And I think Bont, after a shit game, I think he'll be pretty stubborn about staying on as well. So should be all right. It's probably going to be an injury.
Yeah. Well, it might even be Dale. Like, let's just say Dale does get up to play and they just absolutely, flog the Tigers. That if there's been concerns or, some soreness during the week, they're probably going to sub him off early if the game's wrapped up, potentially. Like, that's probably the only thing. But as Causa said, one thing that we probably didn't expect was Daniel, out of all people, getting tagged by Chincotta.
This is fuckwit move number 2. I couldn't believe this. I was like, you're joking. This wasn't everyone 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago, or whatever, was saying that Daniel's going to get dropped soon, and you've got a bloke dedicating a tag to him. Oh my god. Oh,
Yep.
He's not that good where you need to tag him. Jesus. What about
his little helmet? He's that good. What are you talking about?
What about friggin'? Well, the helmet's the helmet's got a lot of attention today, but. What? Oh, like a Sheasel or an LDU? I know, like, he comes off the half forward, but what a waste of a tag. Like, I know Daniel's still got a 90, which is all right, but yeah, just don't understand what the fuck Voss is doing. I have no idea.
I don't think anyone does.
I think if you're
fuck. Do you reckon Voss gets a sack like Santa?
Surely.
Who do they play next week?
Good question. They play Port next week.
Oh, I think
So TDK is not solo ruck against Vicentini. I'm actually considering the trade out.
It wouldn't make sense for them to run 2 racks against Vicentini. No way.
Well, Sweet's still in the team though too. They'd had both, but Sweet did get subbed off today.
Yeah.
So they might just go, 2 for 2. Surely you drop Pitnet and bring in. They need a forward, obviously, and unless because I thought if Curnow played, I thought that they would have just brought in like a Lewis Young or something. But I don't know how far Mackay is, and it's a bit scary.
Well, they only would have kept Vicentini and Sweet combination because he was playing Grundy. If you see the team sheets. And even if you did catfish them and say you're playing Pito and TDK, if you saw the team sheet then with them coming out with just Vicentini, surely Pito's the way out and just, they restructure that way because you're not playing TDK and Pito against Vicentini. There's no advantage in that, no point.
No, I know, but in terms of their forward structure, that's the problem. It's not the ruck structure, it's the forward structure. They don't want to go with.
Surely, like you were mentioning before, Ghost, about Young playing, surely they grab him instead. Or I reckon Voss gets a sack Monday, to be honest.
Well, yeah, that's what I would have thought. They would have picked Young because he has been in the team a lot more. And like you said, they might have just gone with those two just because it was Sherry and they thought they could double team him. But yeah, I don't know. I don't trust Voss. I don't know what he's going to do. If Mackay was close to coming back, I'd say we'd be sweet. But who the fuck knows when he's coming back? So
it's going to be an interesting week next week to see if Bossy still has a job or not. But I guess another thing that works for us in Supercoach, though, to tie it back in, is apparently 25% of people had the captain on Sherry this week. So
thank fuck, there's a few people that'll be sharing.
A few people with you. Yeah, there'll be a few people with you.
I saw JG did it too. JG.
We saw that the last minute too. He flicked it because we were debating who. Because I'm pretty sure we were talking about in one of our chats, Brad, about who we should, whether it was like a Hewitt, or someone, a Dale or something like that. And we all said Hewitt basically. And then somehow this man decides to go, I'm not listening to you. Bang on Sherry. Serves you right. Don't listen if you don't listen to us, mate.
I just didn't have the option. Dale was probably my only, or a Tom Green. But yeah, I thought that with the safety of the ceiling and the floor, but it's just one of those shit weeks. So
yeah, that's what I mean. Is like you can't avoid the shit weeks either. Like you're gonna have them. Yeah, they're unavoidable. You can't have good weeks every week of the season. Like you're gonna and hey, to be completely fair, if you have a shit week in a bye round, you technically kind of kiss. Let's be honest. It's not like a full 22 team where you're absolutely going to cop it. It's best 18. Like you get a little bit of grace with that as well.
I think overall from the buys, I've gone up. The first couple of weeks, I went up about 400 spots both weeks, and last week I was pretty much par. Like I dropped, but it was like 50 spots. So if I come out of the buys, I wanted to be a bit better. But if I end up being around the same, like I'm not going to it doesn't matter anyway. If I go up, down, side, it doesn't fucking matter because your team's got to play again next week. You just hope that they do better. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
That's it. That's all you can really hope for.
Yeah.
But as a good note here is, Kirch kicked 2 nice goals, but has been an absolute butcher. But again, I can see Clarko pushing him further up the ground again. I don't think so. They look for him a lot in that back line. And they look for the run and carry as well. Like that 1-2. It's like the same sort of feeling that we get when we watch Dale. It's that 1-2 receive. It's that 1-2 receive like Naz gets off the back line.
Naz does a lot, yeah.
They're looking for him with that, and he runs for it too. Like he doesn't just like waltz up there; he absolutely sprints for it. So I'm not worried about that. Jason Dock looked very good today. Was point washing between him and Kirch. Happy with the 99. It's interesting. Last week, if you jumped on Kirch or Dock, you weren't happy because like Bergman was the pick. But then this week it's opposite because apparently Bergman was crook, and then his shoulder went. Like it just, I think he scored like a 45 or something like that this week. Whereas now the other mid prices that you could have gone are now gone the other way and gone 99s, 96s.
Yeah, back to touch on my point. The only good mid price was Body Cal Mills.
Yeah, well, that's very true. He's definitely the lead. I'm just broke and couldn't buy anyone else, so I got Kirch. Yeah, absolutely putrid by foot. How good was the windy tag on Dacos? Yeah, so good, so effective. I'm glad I owned Dacos. I was scared this week to see a 157 next to his name. Whew.
Do you think that it didn't work as good? Because I actually heard, I can't remember who it was. It might have been on a potty or some shit during the week. It was a St Kilda supporter, and they actually said that they reckon that the windy tag on Bont was a bit better because he's not as fast. Like he's a bigger body, but he's not like lightning quick. Whereas Dacos has that speed where he could burn him. Because I didn't watch a load of the game. What do you think?
I think it was purely yes, Dacos is a bit more mobile and agile and has like a lot of agility compared to a Bont because of the size difference. But also Collingwood have dealt with Dacos having a tag for how long now? And they use the team to work around tags. Like it's not Bont versus the tag. It's Bont versus the tag, but for Collingwood, it's Collingwood versus the tag. It's not just Dacos. Like the whole midfield group works around how to get him free and get him the ball still. I think that's the main difference. I don't know if you notice anything else with that, Brad.
Now, all I can say is flag pies.
Mate, pick a team, will you? I've seen Crows. I've seen North. You're a Tigers man.
I just like to. I'm truly a Tigers supporter, but I think I got a lot of love for McRae because he's an ex-Tigers himself. So as much as I hate Collingwood, I actually like the way they play, and I can't really hate a side that's just so good to watch. So yeah.
Agreed.
There you go. X reckons you're looking very dapper, Brad.
I don't want dapper, man. Is that like bread?
It's like spiffy. You're looking very good.
Sharp.
Ah, right.
Yeah. Sorry, X. He needs it in a pop-up book to understand.
Yeah. Can you draw me a picture?
Just make sure you keep the crayons out of reach. You might eat them.
No, I'm pretty hungry actually.
Didn't you have a coffee?
No, I didn't make it. I forgot.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't got your Mishashi there or something.
I've considered it, but I don't think I'm. I don't want to be awake as long as the baby's awake because we'll both be like this. 3 a.m.
Yeah. I hope you haven't worn that mask around the kid.
No way. No, I'm pretty sure Child Protection would call me if that was the case.
Oh yeah. Yeah, leave it in that bedside drawer, mate.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing that we did not, we all kind of waited for it, but it's just come at a point where I think we've all jumped off Levi Ashcroft because he did turn up. He turned up this week.
Yeah. Well done.
Surely, a lot of people wouldn't have held him though, wouldn't they?
That's what I'm saying is like it's happened at a point where I think most have already kind of jumped off it. Like unless someone was really like persistent on holding him to the buy, then they probably congratulations, good job. but I think most of us would have jumped off by now, surely.
Yeah.
And then Lions rookie. Who else was the? I'm trying to figure out who they might be referring to. Is it Morris or who?
Morris kicked what, 4 or 5?
Yeah, Morris got a 114, so it could have been Morris they were talking about.
Yeah, probably. I think there was many other ones.
Zorko just absolute piggy to get back to 105 after a very, very quiet start. That shits me. I got off. I jumped off.
I totally forgot. I was thinking about Big J that jumped off Zorko, not you, Rook.
I know. But I did it though because I needed someone going for the buy, so it worked out. But I was hoping for a quieter game at the Alphabet Stadium.
I didn't think he'd get it at GMHBA for sure. I thought a smaller ground probably wouldn't get it, but yeah, he started off shit, and then yeah, somehow I got it again. Every time I looked up and he was getting those +6s, I was like, you little shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sarong had a good week too. Very, very good week. And he was pretty cheap if you jumped on him for the run home at all those Optus Stadium games.
Yeah, he got to
par. Yeah, it's ridiculous for Sarong. But again, this is not surprising for Sarong though. Like, this is the Sarong that we knew, and this is the Sarong that he usually is. He's just been slightly quieter this year. But again, he's still leading the comp for like clearances and all this shit. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy.
What happens when you play Essendon?
Well, that's also true.
Unless you're fucking Brayshaw.
Yeah, I mean, Brayshaw's going a bit quiet. Like, again, he has the ability to push out those massive games, but I think it was just one of those games where Sarong just owned it. And Luke Ryan went back to his seagulling days as well.
Yep.
He didn't have any
Ghost, yeah, I'm not sure if you knew this, but Brayshaw actually thought he had a bye this week. That's why he didn't show up.
Yeah, it's great that I chucked the VC on him first because I was going to do the VC on Sherry, and I was like, oh, no, I'm sure that Brayshaw's got to smash Essendon. And then fucking, he was on like 30 or something at halftime, 35 or something, and I was just like, what is going on? And then to top that off, watching Shea Bolton run around like a dickhead, get pinned. If an Essendon player can run you down the goal square, you're done.
I might have to VC Cardwell before the end of the year, Ghost.
He's solid, man. He just goes. He's not as skillful or anything like this. I'm not comparing them as players, but he plays like a Butters. Like, he goes, it's 100% every single time. He's pretty solid. Like, he goes for it. So he's doing all the heavy lifting while Merritt's out of there. So I rate him a lot as he's done well as a Supercoach pick. So
that's been very good. He's been very, very good. Yeah, Hawksy, come on now. Mate, you know the deal. We don't talk about this. You know better.
Nah.
Especially this week. Like, it changes everything.
Yeah. But come on, Hawksy. You've been here long enough to know we don't talk about par or anything like that. Come on. We're going to get into some actual questions. Scorched Earth, welcome in, mate. How you going? I hope you're having a better second year, first year than what I did in my first year, because look, I didn't do well. I was in like the 40Ks, so just burnt through all my trades, sideways primos, did all the things that you shouldn't really do. Again, I was learning all my lessons. But yeah, 40K, I think I was like 44K was my first year. So my only target for this year is just top 1%. If I can nail that, even if I get in like top 2, I'm very, very happy with that. That's a massive improvement. So that's my own goal. But I know you boys have been playing for absolutely ages. So you guys have got years on me.
Yep.
What else we got? Danielle. You're Danielle now. Boys, I had a beauty in this Collingwood game. Captain Dacos.
Oh.
Captain Dacos. The balls to captain someone who is very clearly going to get tagged. Sitting on 2080 with an Anderson left to go. Should I look at being aggressive and trading at Rakin for Darcy, hoping for a spike score? What do we think of Rankin? I know Rankin's been a few talking points this week just because like the potential role shift, getting more forward time. That run home's quite nice, but if they have the trades available, and only if, is Rankin worth a trade out?
There's merit to it, but you'd hope that Darcy goes to 180 this week for it to be really valid, because Rankin's run home's pretty juicy. You'd think that Rankin will eventually pull his finger out, but Darcy's got a good run as well. But like you're trading out a guy that's a mid forward for a key position for like this doesn't make too much sense to me. Unless I knew Darcy was valid to get 110 every week and Rankin was to go 90, it would be, a huge merit to it. Like if you take away the last month of football before that, before Sam Berry came into the side, Rankin was doing really well. If Crouch comes back in and Berry comes out, not that Berry will in this form, but I think I'd just be reluctant to hold Rankin just because you know what he can do. And a lot of the time for the last month, his first quarter has been really shocking, so it's been hard to come back from. So for me, just from a standpoint of view, I actually think Bolton's more of a trade out than any of these other forwards that we're talking about over anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bolton's definitely the priority trade out of your Warners and your Rankins, and I don't even know who else that really you'd classify. I think Track's fine. Yeah, definitely big on Bolton over that. What are your thoughts, Ghosty, on that? Just quickly, do you think Rankin's worth it, or do you agree that Bolton's probably the one to go if you have to trade out someone?
Yeah, pretty much exactly what Brad said. I think Bolton is looking at his role as well. Like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when Rankin was against the Lions, he was on like a 30 or something at halftime. Like, he was doing pretty shit. And then they had to chuck him in the CBAs to get something going, and he ended up getting like a 90 out of it. Like, so he actually, I think they pulled the trigger on it when it's not working in there, which if they are obviously playing well, it means he might not be able to get in there as much. But Bolton, I'm really worried about, because now not only did you have Erasmus, you had Fife, you had Nod, plus your Sarong, Brayshaw and shit. So I think Bolton, he looked better when he was playing mid. When he's sitting forward, he doesn't look good. And I think he's going to be stuck forward a lot more now. So I think Bolton's But like I said, how many trades we fucking got?
That's what I mean. It's not really the time of year where you can really afford to do it without a big cost. Like, you might trade out a Bolton as a luxury trade next week, for example, and then maybe you rank quite well, maybe you're playing for leagues and you got into your finals, and then bang, injury, and you don't have the trades to get out that injured player, and now you're at a loss.
If you can loop, I'd just say you got to loop and loop your shittest forward, your shittest mid, your shittest defender, and just hope that's get you the score that's best for that week, and that's all you can really do.
I agree. I also agree with this comment. 100% there are holes.
The holes aren't big enough, so they're both, anyway.
Oh, that's not true. We know that. Come on now. Finished on its already finished, so mustn't have any players from the next two games. Finished on a 22-21. Lovely. Very, very good score, Ryan. So glad and listening to Brad going on Caldwell this week. 440 was a nice, great pickup. Yeah, I also put a few on Caldwell this week as well. They were looking at Darcy and some other ones that you could pay up for, but I think Caldwell's probably the one. He's just got the keys to the midfield at this point. This just looks really, really good. I probably disagree with this comment, but X reckons it's time to trade Roberts. He was playing wing. Might give him one more week and hope he does well, but he had 0 kick-ins and played about 70% of the game in the midfield. Yeah, I think you made a pretty good call on this earlier, Brad. I think if this is what Roberts can do on the wing, where he filters through the back line at the same time as like that additional rebounder, I think he's still fine. I don't think he's like I'd still put Bolton as a priority trade out over Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon Roberts is fine. He actually looked good. He took really clutch marks at times. And I think with Lloyd out the side and Bice being sub, it really helped him as well. So as long as those sort of things stay as it is, and like Sydney won anyway, so you'd think they'll just keep going about business now that they've got Papley back. Warner looked better. Their team as a whole, if they kick straight, will look so much better on paper. But I just think these players are going to come good. Like even Warner finally, after he'd been rested up, he actually looked like a better player this week than what he had the last 2 or 3 at least. Wasn't getting so angry. I just think as soon as you get these players in your side, like a Mills that can calm the side down a little bit, all their senior players back, like Gordon, we saw his precise kicking as well. Like I think you'll see a different Sydney in the back end, meaning that I think you don't got to overthink these sideways trades of some of these sides, given injury. But yeah, I'm happy to keep some of these guys and try to run an F7 or an M9, like even a Josh Kelly. As wild as it sounds, if he got a little bit more CBA spike, I'd be very hot on him for an M9 whip of merit.
100%. 100%. Good question about tomorrow's game. I think Nando is probably the obvious one, but does Anderson or Rao cop the Bedford tag, or do they not even run a tag? I think Nando's the only person that Bedford could probably run with. I don't see Bedford being able to run with Rao.
If he goes to Rao, I'm going to destroy something.
I can go to Rao for this one, lads.
I hope he does, just for Ghosty's sake, just because I want to see some drywall
Fucking
demolished.
If Bedford goes to Rao, he better eat him like the fucking grass he eats before the game, because I swear. In all honesty, I think he'll either go to Anderson, or if he starts forward, he might go to even a Rioli or a Noble or something like that, a bit smaller body. I think Rao will play on Tom Green and go head to head. Big body is going in. I think 2 gingers.
Love the gingers. Get a team full of Orangers. That's the play for next year, I think.
Yeah, Richards.
It's worked out well so far with Richards and Green.
I've got Green and Rao, so
yeah.
got a couple in there.
And Robert counts. He's a nice little ginger. I actually do want to contemplate doing that as like just a pretty fun team sort of thing, but we'll see how we go. Hawksy makes a really good comment here because X, you're well known for it. He brings up all these sideways trades every week, and we just like to know how many trades that he has and where does he get all these trades from. he pays. He does some things under the table for the Murdoch company that runs Supercoach.
Sort of like the Cats, hey, Rook.
Sort of like the what?
Sort of like the Cats with all their extra farming and all their extra.
All right. Don't come on now. Morris Finance are legit. There's nothing under the table going on about that. Oh man. Hawksy also couldn't get Angus Clark on field. He went 65. Hoping that nobody scores less than that, because right now Sinclair 65 is in my line to drop off. Yeah, I've got Sinclair and Clark probably on field. They're probably going to drop. So I'm probably going to cop the 79 and 76 from DDK and Sherry, unfortunately.
Did you have Johnson?
No, I left Johnson on bench.
Fuck, I had to field him.
Yeah. I've been taking notes from Brad on how to loop, and it's been working out a treat.
I only had to do it just because Dawson's got the bye for me, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so
it only works because I actually did trade out Newcomb. If I didn't trade out Newcomb, I'd be copping the 32.
Yeah.
Which I'd probably rather cop.
You wouldn't anyway because it would drop out.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. It might have just meant I got a different, slightly different score and copped a worse score on, but it is what it is. Bro, same mode as me, rolling the dice McCarthy or flex until I can upgrade Johnson and Clark to 23rd primo before trades to go. Also, people putting in projections means stuff all. Couldn't agree. I don't know if Brad is frozen or if he's just holding a mean fucking stare. He's gone. All right. He's gone. I don't know what happened there. What's he done? Give me a minute. I'm going to message him. Where you go. But yes, no, I'm definitely going to be doing something similar to that. Let me... Oh, yeah, that works. Awesome. They didn't have to change anything. Oh, no, is he back? I don't know what he's doing. Is he here?
I don't know when he like popped out. Here we go.
Fuck's sake. He leaves to just go put this back on, and he's actually changed his name. Like, his title is L Supercoach Pro.
I have no idea what happened, but I'm pretty sure the cartel got me. My everything blacked out here. I wasn't sure if someone was going to the box or something out here, so I decided to come back in true spirit form as L Supercoach Pro Nitro. So I don't know what the fuck happened. I got really worried then. I thought, did I say something wrong and get absolutely cancelled? But no, we're back again and here for the whole film. So yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, something happened with my Wi-Fi. I mean, every time I should do that, I should donate $10 to something because, fuck me, I'm like your missus driving at 7 a.m. with 4 hours sleep and she hits every curb. And then, anyway, let's go there. I'll get in trouble because she's in the truck. But anyway, enough of tacos because I'm not going to get any tonight, clearly.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking hell. Trust Brad to throw everything off track, of course. That's why we love him. Yes, no, to this, I've got TDK in my flex at the moment. So yeah, I'll be doing my flex is technically my like D6 spot at the moment, or could be my M8 spot, depending on where we run with trades and cash that gets made off rookies. But yeah, it's one of those seasons where we just kind of accept some of the things that we have to deal with in our team. Yes, blue balls. Speaking of scarves, there was this guy, this video going around of a guy throwing his blue scarf in the fire.
Yeah,
and just wanting, and I've seen bloody posts of people wanting to start riots and protest at the stadium. Can't blame him. Let's be honest.
One loss to North Melbourne and your world comes crumbling down, eh? Shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm also disappointed about, Brad? Cheese is over here in some bloody group chat sending the oddest videos, and yet he's not hanging out here.
I've seen it. The mug on Cheese for that selfie was hilarious.
Oh man, these group chats are fucking wild. Trust me, After Dark has nothing compared on some of these group chats, and our channels would not have a chance of being kept up if we showed these. Ridiculous. Hawksy, our mates with a Bombers guy threw his scarf on the ground last year. That would have been a lot of people. You sure? Like when you say mates, that's a lot of people that would have thrown their scarf on the ground last year. A lot of people.
I don't have one, so otherwise I'd throw it too.
Not surprising that you don't own one at all. Why would you? I mean, I think
it's the one that Brad got from the op shop.
Probably.
It probably is. It was a bargain.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me get this. They're going on after DR on X. They're going after DR on X. Think the fantasy fellas had a few too many cans tonight. Really? Is there drama? Ooh, I like this. This is good. That's some reading for some popcorn later. Thanks for the heads up, Marty. But this is the funny thing, right? Though, and this is what I like about the community here at with Supercoach is when one of the guys gets like kind of a hit on them from these other lads and these bot Twitter accounts, absolute NPCs. We all just kind of group up, and it's just a game mentality. I absolutely love it. It's so funny. You know what you should do, Brad? You should just take a selfie and post it on a thing and be like, I'll come for you. That's scary. Uh-oh. That rule is too big for you, mate.
No, I don't know what it is, but it's just sitting in my yard. I think it's what you put copper over it. That's how I bought the suit. It's all the copper. I've been going out to Geelong sites and snipping it from.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, he clearly needs it. Make sure you go sub and become a member on Brad's channel so he doesn't have to scrape copper.
Yeah, look, Centrelink funding's not helping me. I haven't even been on Centrelink. I've been a good boy since leaving high school.
Yeah.
He's going off shops too, so he really is at the bottom of the barrel with your coin.
He's making the most out of all this revenue he's getting from YouTube. We'll put it that way.
Extra cash. We know he loves his pod trades, so he's getting cash on the side.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't feel like you have to make any more St Kilda trips, though.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you sending me feet big again?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you're working weekends in St Kilda. Hopefully you've backed off them now.
Oh, right. No. It's too cold.
Lizard. It is. Yeah, glass cutters, man. Blizzard, you've been here too long to know that we even talk about this. Come on now. But that's a good score. Projected of 22.62. If you get there, awesome stuff. Very, very good. Cardwell has been such a good pickup, going for 428, and it got a 125 this week. It is looking like a decent M8. 100% he is. 100%. Let me just see if we can get to some actual questions. Watching Shannon Neal last night actually made me furious Andrews ate him alive in every contest. I know he's young. Yeah. This is probably the annoying thing is like Neil's on his way to get there by all means. Don't get me wrong. But when he's actually on a decent defender, he's absolutely dog shit. He has no idea how to maneuver the body or have form. Like, it frustrates me because he gets talked up. There's so much hype around him. He's overhyped just because he's coming to a Hawkins role. It's ridiculous.
He kicked 4 on a debut player last week against Essendon. He was on Blackiston. Kicked 4.
Oh, yeah.
No, but that's what I mean. When he's on someone decent, Harris Andrews is a rung above Blackiston, I reckon.
Yeah.
I pre-read this before, and I thought he said Andrew Tate ate him alive in every contest. I was so confused. I was like, I'm going the wrong potty right now. Like, I know who Tate is and I know what he's about, but wow, where did this come from?
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it's so funny because Neil is so baby-faced as well. So when he cracks the shits, it actually looks like a child throwing a tantrum.
It was pretty funny when he got intercept marked and he hitting himself in the quad.
Yeah, legit. It's the arm swing tantrum. It's fucking hilarious.
That's what it was.
It's so funny. Roaring AU Sinclair sold my week. 100%, mate. In the same boat as you. Captain Luke Jackson, but Sinclair is maybe pretty terrible. Hey, mate, you cannot say you've got a terrible week when you've got a Captain Luke Jackson.
Come back when you've got fucking Sherry as captain, then I'll listen to you. If you've got Luke Jackson and you complain about your week, no fucking chance.
No chance. But no, it is frustrating when you have a Sinclair that's been doing mad numbers and doing really well as a top 6 defender, and then he just pulls out a 65. But no one's immune to this sort of shit. Like it happens to all players. What was that?
I said most people have Sinclair though, so it's like same as like Baz. It doesn't matter if he scores 110 or a 50. It doesn't matter. Everyone's got him.
There we go. Off to the doghouse for you, Brad. Borksy finally had mucks.
Wow. Thanks. I thought we were friends, Borksy.
Oh, never mind. Oh, they love that. Very good. Well, I've actually caught up to the comments, and we've done that within an hour and a half. So that's fucking awesome. So I guess the main thing really, who we got playing tomorrow? Who we got left? Because I currently I've got Dale and Whitfield in my back line. I've got Richards and Green in the mids, and then I've only got Darcy to go. So I'm hoping that at least Green and Whitfield throw out a massive score, which would be nice. I'm not expecting too much from Darcy, to be honest. If he gives me a 95, I'm happy. But I really want, the Whitfield. I'm not given Dale's rumors. If I can get 100 out of him, I'll be happy. But Whitfield, Green, and Richards, I need them to go massive for me this week. Who have you got to play, Bradley?
I'm screwed here. I've only got Dale and Richards, with Richards as my captain, but I'm sitting on 1,700, so I'll be lucky to get to 2,000 this week, I reckon.
Yep.
You're in the same boat as me, Braddles. So I think I'm on just under 1,700. I've got Whitfield, Dale. If Dale doesn't play, I'll get a 63 from Carroll. So not great, but still something. And then I've got Tom Green and Rao. That's it.
Yep.
So I reckon.
Where are they playing? Oh, NG.
So
what's Rao's record at NG? Let's have a look.
His record against NG shit, but he's got 115 in his last 4 games. So
wow.
Oh, a 51-point last game. Oh, we could be seeing a really, really mad ghost. I see. This annoying thing is you don't make content, so we can't even see you get raged about Rao.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to wait until next after dark.
I'll send you guys some voice notes so you can fucking hear it.
I'm sure you will. Yeah, I'm gonna suss out that T on the DR stuff, and I don't know, might throw out a line or two, as Brad likes to do. See if we can hook a few.
Who were your trades? I don't think I actually heard your trades this week.
Mine?
Yeah.
Mine were.
I was surprised when I heard Newcomb was gone, so that's why I was like, "Oh shit!"
That's not surprising. No one's surprised about me trading out Nuke.
Last time I spoke to you, you said you're like, "Oh, I might just have to hold him." So.
Yeah, I decided against it because I looked at my team without him and I fell in love. No, so I ended up To get Darcy in, I needed to get Carroll out. I was hoping to move someone else on, but he's done enough for me, and I don't want to get attached. So went Carroll, Newcomb, and Pedlar for Mills, McCarthy, and Darcy.
Oh, so you got
If Johnson provided decent cover, I might have just held off, but I'm not copping a 32. To be as one of my scores that drop out. So I just went, nah, screw it. I'm going to get Newcomb out. We'll just get Darcy in. And I think the team looks a bit better. But what were your trades, Brad? What did you end up doing this week? You talked about holding some trades. Did you end up doing that?
Yeah, I made none so far. I could make some, but I don't know if it's really worth it, to be honest. This week, I'm just going to cop a hit and bounce back next week, I hope.
Yeah. Very good. And you also held?
Yeah, I held as well. So I'm just copying Brad so I can climb. That's all I'm doing.
At this point, I think I'm the only one missing a mask. Like, Brad's got all these. He's got a bloody Chester, trunk there full of costumes. Brad, and then Ghosty's probably got the screen mask. And I've got the cowboy hat, which
I've got a spare. I've got a Jason Voorhees one that you can borrow if you want. We can all just.
Oh, there you go.
Just mask it up. Have an orgy.
What a weird Supercoach stream that would be. They come in after dark, and we've just all got these costumes
on. Ghosty can have the gimp suit.
Can you imagine a weird one where it's just like you just see Ghosty, but in the background there's just you, Brad, up on a wall.
Wow.
It's tied up.
I might have to set that up. We'll set that up.
Oh, that's really after dark. What's the JLTs? Yeah, so the only rumor at the moment is that he's just pulled up a bit sore at training. I think it might have been like calf or hamstring awareness. I can't really remember which one it was. There's not too many rumors, but it's just a little bit behind closed doors. Again, nothing official has come out saying that he's not right to play or anything like that. It was just some soreness during training in the week. But by what we can take from official reports and injury lists, there's nothing too worried about at the moment. But hey, if it's a laid out, then just be wary. So could be some chaos if he's a laid out, but I really doubt it. I highly doubt it. We would have heard a bit more about it if he was going to be a laid out, but nothing's been said. So, and it's not Chris Scott coaching them, so that's also a benefit.
Yeah, Bevo can be a dickhead though.
Yeah, well, that's also true. Yes or nothing. Yeah, it's more about group chats. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing official out. It's just more group chats with inside sources. Like my cousin's sisters, boyfriends, mums, grandma, heard. Yeah, dog. Yeah, exactly. Very nice, Cozza. Very nice. I think the other staff is sorted. Very good. Newcomb and Mills this week and going to Cameron for me over the moon. Ooh, Cameron. That's interesting. You know what I would have loved to do if I had a luxury trade for Gorn? Grundy.
Grundy did well again.
Grundy's just been in ripper form. Don't know why I couldn't do it last year, but he's just absolutely smashing it. And I'm pretty sure he's got the second easiest run home for Rucks as well, behind Sherry. So, yeah, just one of those luxury trades that we think we all kind of missed, but is what it is. He's got Wits and Bont C to come. Very good, mate. It's going to be a good week for you. Jason, very happy with the Heaney trade in a couple of weeks ago. It looked really good today. Hopefully, with all the players back, helps him get his last year's form back. Yeah, Heaney looked very, very solid. I think he was leading contested possessions. Just all the things that we saw of last season, really, from like a Heaney sort of role and ability. We knew Heaney had the skill. He's done it, for years now to really provide what we've seen today. And I think there's probably going to be, as you said, with the players that are now back in, probably some more consistency for that top of scoring line, which is going to be awesome.
Just on that, one thing I forgot to mention before when we were talking about Roberts on the wing, because like I said, I didn't actually watch that game.
Yeah, the carpets do match the drapes, Ghosty. It's okay.
That was my question for you. But yeah, obviously, because they've got those blokes back in, like Goulden, which I'm assuming he would have had a bit of wing, bit of CBAs and stuff like that too. He'll get eased into it. Obviously, Jakey Lloyd's the one that got dropped and he's out. So do you reckon that there'll be a pretty high tolerance for if there's a poor game in the seniors between, say, a Roberts or because they're not going to drop like a Goulden or one of these blokes. And Bice was a sub, so do you reckon that like potentially, say, Roberts has a stinker that he might not get dropped fully, but if a Lloyd comes in, one of them might potentially be like a sub or something? Because I think there's not a lot of separation between a lot of these blokes. They play similar roles. They're all pretty solid in their roles. Like I wouldn't have thought Lloyd would even get dropped, to be honest.
Well, do you think Cutters is the first to go on that list?
It could be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they've waited all year for him to get back. There's even Florent as well that can't get in the team, and he's been pretty consistent too. So, like, that's just one thing. They're pretty stacked when they're all available. So I'm not saying they get dropped or anything like that. Just food for thought with a lot of players there.
I can't see Roberts getting dropped, despite like if he has a poor game. Roberts is too talented. Out of all those guys in your back line, him and Mills are probably the safest you'd feel on, and Blakey, of course. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rampy, but
I was going to say Rampy.
Rampy could be one. But maybe the older guys that are sort of on the decline now, especially Cunners. Like I'm pretty sure he's like at least 31. But the guys that are going to be in your side for the next 5 years, like your Roberts guys, there's no way. Like he'd have to have like 3 stinkers, 4 stinkers in a row for him to go. But he just reads the play so well. Like he's a frustrating own, but for the price we paid for him, $450, averaging bang on 95, like it's not the worst pick in the world. Like you're literally paying for what you get plus a little bit more, really. But it's a weird one. I'll probably have to loop him and McCarthy at D6, or I can actually just put McCarthy in the midfield and run him as a loop for merit. So I don't know if you know. I just played with a trade before. It's a disgusting one. I won't go through it. But here's one before we actually all get out of you and whatever. But I was looking at Max Gawn. I won't do it because everyone's got Jack. I don't want to run no Max Gawn when people got Jackson. But it was Max Gawn, Huswaite, and Leake for Darcy. Hear me out here, McCarthy and Prestia. But I was like, no way.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Not even as a kicks man. I don't have the balls for that. Not with 3 trades to go if I did that. It's not worth the spike score.
No.
It'd be so funny though if you just went rogue and just didn't tell anyone, and then in your round review, you're like, "Oh, how did he get here? What the fuck?"
I know I could get like an extra 50, 60 points. I might save my rank this week, but I know it'd hinder me in the long run. So you got to look at it the long term. Like does these trades actually help you for the next 8 weeks, because you still got like so many weeks to go. Like if you burn through your trades now and you're going below 2, all it takes is 1 week, like we saw that can't improve those 3 players to go down, and then you're -1 and you're running a rookie at F6 for the rest of the season. So for me, I'll maybe trade next week and go down to 3, but at least I know that the side will have a 24th if I do that. I won't be doing it any other way, but getting a spare if I do it. But man, I'm seeing there's people talking about trades this week and next, and I assume they're probably going under 4 by next week. And then you'll see the drop-off of people coming on to After Dark because they've got no trades to use. So they'll just be coming here for their rage, and that's about it.
Yep. That's what I mean. Is like it's good, though, because, After Dark, this is that space where we're not really talking strats. Like, we'll answer your questions and everything with where our thoughts are, but we're just here to have a fucking good time and just actually try to enjoy Supercoach and not get stuck in the fucking mental down hit that is, when your team's not performing, because we're all having shit weeks in some way or form. Like there's always going to be bad players, and that's just how it is. Like, and this is just again this Jerry Springer equivalent of your normally daytime Supercoach content that you'll get for most of us. But no, Pressia is a fucking wild one. Actually, to be fair, in my game day squad, I have got Pressia in my midfield at the moment, just to be different.
Wow.
Yeah. Just to be different.
Different.
What a way to do it. No, I just want to be different.
I just want to be different. I want to be unique. I want to be special. All right.
Yep.
Lizard is going to be cooked if Dale's out. I think everyone will be cooked if Dale's out. I don't see it.
I got as a score. I'm still cooked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Blue Ballers, great stream, lads. Appreciate yous. Happy score tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us, mate. We will be looking to wrap up very, very shortly. Again, we usually try and get to that 1.5 to 2 hour mark. So I think we've blasted through the comments, which has been really good. Jason reckons Amadi has to be the first one out and just swing someone forward. Man misses the toilet.
Robert's full forward.
Oh, fuck. I agree. Get little Bow Wow out there, as Brad would say.
Little Bow Wow.
Get back to the booth and start dropping some bars.
Literally.
Would it be a bad move to sideways sync to Naz? Yes.
Big J, is that you?
I'd like to know how many trades this man has. Because he talks about a lot of
good.
trades.
It's just one shit
Wait,
game.
I figured it out. X is Big J's burners. I figured it out. Crack the case. I should be a detective. CJ running with the gold Riley West and GDS. I'm special. You are very special. Very, very special there, mate. I hope it works out for you. Are we concerned about the Horny Man's CBAs the last 2 weeks?
No.
I'm not. I think he's getting warmed up into him. Personally.
Yeah, he's got more talent than the entire Essendon list. You're laughing at this pick. He's fine. He's just carrying his sore shoulder from carrying the side for the last year and a bit. So, Horny Man will be fine. All he needs is a good ice bar or two, and he'll be back in the midfield.
He wasn't
couple ice bars, couple TikToks. He'll be right.
He wasn't too good when he played us, though.
Yeah, because, again, he thought you had to buy.
Yeah. That was the game that everyone rage traded him out after that game. It was like fumbling and shit. And
that's true.
got pinned for holding the ball and shit every like 2 minutes.
Yeah. How's me shooting shots when Tigs are pretty much from the bottom of the ladder anyway?
Oh. If anyone can give drive-bys, it's probably me because my boys are sitting top 4. Wow.
Hey, if you guys didn't give payments under the table and have every home game that you train at fucking winnable, like you guys don't lose at home unless it's freaking Fremantle and they're plastic anyway. So don't get me started, Rook.
Mate, how I understood it, AFL's you pay to win. That's how I thought.
Geelong were my second favourite team until I fucking moved here. I moved here now; they're my second most hated.
I grew up there, and that's why I fucking hated them.
Is that why you moved, Ghost?
Yeah. But nah, like, look, if you're going to cheat, just take some drugs that doesn't even get you into finals anyway. That's what we did.
Let's go find Brownlow.
Win a Brownlow, then give it back to Cochin and Sam Mitchell. That's what we do.
Hey, at least Cochin deserved it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
Joe took those needles in though, bro. You got to remember that. You had to get jabbed every week. You fucking...
That's wild. That is so wild.
Earned those votes.
I remember picking Dave Watson and Stanton in Supercoach back in the day.
Oh, fucking Stanton. He was a whipping boy.
Yep.
Oh.
That would be like bringing in Whitfield.
Yeah.
Not Whitfield, bloody Settlefield. Sorry, I get the confusion.
I was going to say, bringing in Whitfield would be pretty good.
Sorry, yeah. One too many creatine pills over here.
Man is peaking on creatine. That's crazy.
There we go.
Mate, with all this stuff, you'd act like you were sponsored by Musashi at this point.
I was about to say.
I probably should be. Mate, I might reach out to him and give him a reach around. That's probably not the right term.
Otherwise, just tell them you'll start doing weird shit.
In the contract. Quarterly reach around. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Cause, I hope the Suns wins tomorrow. I don't. I hope they absolutely eat the turf like Rao does.
I thought he was talking about the weather tomorrow. I thought he said, I hope the sun wins tomorrow.
Yeah, I really hope it beats those clouds.
Is it actually meant to be wet there tomorrow? Or is it a dry game? Because if it's dry, I'm fucked. Rao likes his grass wet.
Yeah, moist.
Yeah, we like it moist.
Jace, a bit of a crazy one, but Lipinski a pod went Hugh Schneider is really cheap due to injured games.
Oh no.
I thought about him as a Loop F7, Jason. So
You did not. You did fucking not.
We're here
I
just
did
like,
not.
why are
He's
you
in my
even
locker.
considering? And Brad's like, I've thought about it.
yeah, literally. He was 309k before this week, I'm pretty sure. So
No.
Yeah.
He's been stub, hasn't he, a fair bit too? Hasn't he? I
I
swear.
thought he got concussion a couple of weeks ago.
DM Brad if you want to find out what it is, Marty. He'll give you an instruction.
I'll give you a demo.
He's falling out of his chair.
Oh shit. Oh, of course, when we go to wrap up the stream, it gets fucking worse.
Wheels come off.
But yeah, legit. We're just like, shit, we've got minutes left. Let's see how far we can derail it.
The suit kind of makes me not go off topic, but the last 5 minutes are just it's worn off.
So you're using your suit as a mask. So you've got three masks. You've got like the suit, the blazer, then you got the mask itself, then you got the hat. Again, I'm still missing the glasses. I still want to see them back.
The suit, Brad, is more logical and more Supercoach relevant. As soon as I put on the mask, nothing makes sense. And then as soon as I wear the goggles, everything's just stupid. So it's like sort of like a Spider-Man costume. Like everyone has a different perk.
God, we're not about to make a bloody superhero squad for Supercoach, are we? Fuck, imagine that. I could do some weird shit with Canva to make that fucking hilarious, though. But it wouldn't be like the DC Marvel ones. Do you guys remember seeing that that superhero movie from the same studios that did like Epic Movie and the parodies?
I actually went to the movies with my dad and brother to see that, and my dad hated that. He actually threw up after the movie. I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
Legitimately threw up after the movie. And I was like, "Are you right?" And he goes, "That movie was so shit it made me throw up."
Is your dad cheese?
No, it is cheese. It is cheese. 100% throwing up everywhere. Needs a change of clothes. Oh, based on the bloody messages in the chat, it looks like he has found a pair of clothes. That's nice.
It had Shooter McGavin in it, didn't it? Shooter McGavin was in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking love him.
It was very funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to leave it there before we get into the more chaotic tangents about, ruining some Virgin ears. Sorry, Marty. Should have put a disclaimer on for Brad when he came on. You knew as soon as it started with him with that mask and sombrero hat, we knew we were in for it.
Yeah.
But no, look, thank you for everyone that has hung out with us tonight. As always, you guys are very consistent, and we love seeing all your familiar faces in every Saturday night. It's been an absolute ball. Good shout out to Ghosty again. 3 weeks running now. Got to make some cash. So good job, rookie. Again, I think we're just waiting for you to actually start making some accounts and some content, mate. So people can start following you and subbing, mate, because they love you. They want you back. So, and you fit in quite well into the After Dark antics. So
thanks, mate.
Thank you, Jason, and thanks, Hawksy. But yeah, I mean, Ghosty, man, you've done well. So you haven't done it and then shied away from it. You've come back each week now.
Yeah, I'm looking to be a rookie keeper throughout the year, so hopefully I can live up to that. But yeah, I'm going to just sort out camera and microphone shit and start actually trying to get it looking decent. But like always, I fucking love hanging out with you boys. It's a highlight, especially when your Supercoach team's going like dog shit this weekend. So love it. Everyone, like, subscribe, do what you know you need to do for these boys. And it's always fun, man. It's a highlight.
Yeah, no, it's good. And as Ghosty just said, if you guys have not already, and I'd be very surprised if you haven't, make sure you do check out Brad's channel and his X and his OnlyFans.
He's doing with his eyes.
Oh man, so you got it's Supercoach Pro 91 on X. Just make sure you go check all that stuff. If you can't find it under Supercoach Pro, just look up Supercoach Shrimp, and that will give you the same result.
Isn't it Zoom to look it up? But yeah.
Yeah. And again, if you're here and you haven't liked the stream already, make sure you like it on the way out. you're not sub already, so you can be notified of all the same things that happen, the content, the after darks that come every week, and Rookie Coach AFL just over on X to stay up to date on everything. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, boys. Thank you again, Brad, for the usual antics. Oh, he's getting there. Get the Sambrero hat on.
It's for the missions now. You better be prepared for this.
Jesus Christ. I hope you're paying for a therapy, Brad.
Probably.
Probably. Oh, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we will see you all next week.
So, yeah.
So, yeah.